This lab will give you hands-on practice creating vendors. For this lab, open the file called landworks_vendors_lab, which is in the Working Files folder. So start by opening the Vendor Center. New Vendor, and then choose New Vendor. In the vendor name field, type an identifier for this vendor. It could be the company name or it could be your own abbreviation. But for this, we'll type the company name, so Purple Thumb, PurpleThumb. We'll leave the opening balance blank because most accountants recommend not entering the balance here. It's better to enter the outstanding bills from this vendor individually from your company start date to today. So go ahead and click in the company name field and type the company name, which is Purple Thumb. Click in the first name field and type Shiloh, S-H-I-L-O-H, and press tab twice and type Sirah for the last name, S-Y-R-A-H. Press tab to go to the job title field. Shiloh's the owner, so I'll type owner. In the main phone field, let's add the main phone number, 707-555-0044. Now we'll enter the address the bills are sent from. So click to the right of Shiloh Sirah and press enter. And type the address, 34 Tree Lined Street. And type the town, Graton, Graton, California, and then the zip. Then click copy to make the shipped from address the same as the billed from address. QuickBooks will confirm the address information and then just click OK. Now moving on to the Payment Settings tab. If the vendor has given you an account number, you could type it here. QuickBooks will print the account number in the memo field of any checks that you print for this vendor. So let's go ahead and type 10-4567. Some vendors will also set a credit limit. This particular vendor did not, but if they did, QuickBooks can warn you when you create a purchase order that exceeds your credit limit. So that could be a good thing. Now go to the payment terms and select the vendor payment terms. And they set 2% 10, net 30. QuickBooks will use the payment terms to let you know when a payment is coming up or is overdue. So another handy feature there. This next field, billing rate level, really shouldn't be here because it's not available in QuickBooks Pro. It's only in QuickBooks Premier and Higher. So we'll skip that. And you can see that QuickBooks has already filled in this field, print name on check as. So when you print a check for this vendor, this is what will appear in the payee field. You could change it if you wanted, but we'll leave it as it is. Click Tax Settings. This tab is used only for vendors that are eligible for 1099, so this one is not, so we can skip this tab and go on to Account Settings. Here you can choose the expense accounts to associate with this vendor. This can save you time and improve accuracy when using a vendor in a transaction. QuickBooks will automatically display the correct account when paying bills or writing checks to this vendor. So let's choose Job Materials, Plants and Trees. This vendor also supplies irrigation supplies, so we can choose a second expense account, Job Materials, Irrigation Supplies. Another video will show you how to use these accounts in a transaction. So let's go on to the Additional Info tab. We can choose the vendor type, which is Suppliers Materials. Here's a custom field. You don't really know her birth date yet, but let's go ahead and create a new custom field. So click Define Fields and click in the label area underneath birth date. We'll type Offers Discount. And this field will only be used for vendors, so click in the vendor column and then click OK. And you can see the field now appears. So click in the field and type Y for yes. So I want to mention a couple of things about custom fields. If you create a field that calls for a yes or no answer, you need to enter the data consistently. So you can't enter N on one vendor record and then add no on another vendor record. Otherwise, when you generate a report and customize it to show this custom field, QuickBooks won't find all the vendors. It'll find either all those marked N or all those marked No, but not both. So try to remember how you entered it from one vendor to another. And another thing I wanted to mention, deleting custom fields is not obvious. I'll just show you how you would do it. You can open a customer or vendor record and click Define Fields. First, remove the check mark for the custom field you want to delete, and then delete the label. And you would click OK, but since I don't really want to delete this field, I'll click Cancel. After filling out all the tabs for the vendor, click OK to save the vendor information and close the vendor record. So let's say after having worked with this vendor for a while, you want to add another contact. So click the Contacts tab, go to Manage Contacts, and click Add New. In the first name field, type Joe. The first name is the only required field for contacts, but let's go ahead and add the job title, which is Bookkeeper. And let's change the contact type because it's not really your primary contact at the company. Well, let's choose Additional Contact, and then click Save and Close. And there you see the contact now appears on the Contacts tab. Let's do one more thing. Let's create a to-do item. So go to the To-Do tab, go to Manage To-Dos, and click Create New. Let's say you've set up a meeting with the owner to talk about drumming up business for yourself by offering a mutually beneficial workshop on gopher control. So choose Meeting as the type, and let's make the priority high. And click the calendar to set a date. And the date you should choose should be 1 week from whatever today's date is. So 1 week from today would be the 6th for me. For you, it will be different. And click the checkbox here to activate the time fields and choose 3 p.m. In the Details field, which is required, type Talk about Gopher Control Workshop. Leave the status as active and click OK to save it. And just for fun, let's go to the company menu and look at your to-do list. And it's probably there at the bottom. So I wanted to show you while you're here, you can create new to-do items from here, edit and delete to-do items. You can filter the list by type, by status, by type, meaning lead, customer, vendor, or employee, or by date. So let's go ahead and close the to-do list and close the vendor center. So we've added a new vendor, added a new contact, and created a to-do item.